Okay, Elaine, so this is our objective, to do a reverse parallel park on the road. Our objective is to reverse the car into park position pretty much where we are now, on the left, relatively close to the curb, and keeping the car under control. Have you ever done this before?
No.
Never done this before, so we're going to start completely from the beginning. Tell me about clutch control. What do you know about clutch control?
I've got to do it really slow. It's like a cat's whisker movement.
Okay, good. Good, so cat's whisker movements up to make you move faster or slower?
Faster.
Faster, okay. And how are you going to slow your car?
Put it down.
Good, okay, and that's what we want, a snail's pace with this manoeuvre. The slow car will make this manoeuvre nice and close to the curb line, okay, nice and controlled. When would you need to carry out this this manoeuvre? When do you think you might need to do it?
When you want to park?
Well, yeah, funnily enough, when you want to park, okay. But we would probably be better to reverse into the position around the car rather than put our front in, because we can't steer our back end, okay. So the idea of this is we steer our back end in first, and then we steer our front end in to bring that nice and tidy to the curb line, okay. So how are we going to do this? Well, first of all, we're going to look at the vehicle in front, and we're going to call that our target vehicle, okay. From where we are now, you're going to need to pull up alongside that car or van, and we want roughly about a car door's width away from him, so about a metre away from that car, okay. When we're coming into that position, I want you to be checking your normal mirror signal manoeuvre routine, okay. We'll come to a nice gentle stop just slightly in front of that target vehicle, okay. Now, bearing in mind you've checked your mirrors, if there's someone around, you might need to let them know what you want to be doing. So what signals have we got to use in order to tell them we're going to be moving left?
Indicator.
Absolutely, left signal, absolutely. And when we come into that stop position as well, we're going to select reverse gear, which in most modern cars brings on a white light at the back of the car, showing people your intentions to go backwards, okay. So from that position, we're then going to go backwards nice and straight, okay, until our back wheel is roughly in line with the back of the vehicle, the target vehicle, okay, which means we'd just be slightly behind him, not too much, okay. And at that point, for the first few goes, it's better to stop just to gain your thoughts, okay. Now, before you move away, can you remember that procedure POM? What's the O stand for? Observations. Okay, so what's going to happen to your front of your vehicle as you turn? Your front's going to come out and around into that road, so you want to check over your blind spots to make sure that no one is around before you do that turn. When you're sure it's safe at that point of turn, okay, we're going to move the car very slowly using that clutch control that you said, and we're going to steer the car one whole steer to the left, so the forward sign will go round and look back like it does at the moment, okay. Hold that steering. And what we'll do is we come around, we'll be making some nice angle as we're moving our way backwards, okay. And if you imagine a clock face, straight is 12 o'clock, okay. Not thinking about your steering, the actual angle of your car here, okay. So the car at the moment on my picture here is moving straight up, which is 12 o'clock, okay. As we come round, you'll see about a 1 o'clock angle, and then we're looking for about a 2 o'clock angle. Now, if your mind looks at it a bit differently, about a 45-degree angle, okay. At that point, we're going to straighten up the wheel, okay, constantly looking at our back window for safety, all the way looking forwards for your angle, checking your blind spot to see if anyone's coming, being prepared to stop and wait if they are. So we've now got our 2 o'clock angle, we've got straight wheels, okay, and we're going to drive back towards that curb line, okay, looking back for safety, make sure you're not going to be hurting anyone, okay, looking front, all around your surroundings. And then we get to a position number 3 on my little diagram, which is when our back wheel again is around about a metre from the curb. Now that's quite hard to judge normally, okay, so I might help you a little bit, okay, for the first few goes, but we can look for little helpful points as to where you are. So if you think maybe a metre from the curb line on that van is probably, I don't know, what do you reckon, about the Y of the number plate? Yeah, maybe a bit closer towards it's not dead central of the van, but there's about a metre from the curb line, is around about between the Y and the door line. Okay, possibly you might see that your wing mirror is roughly in line with his wing mirror. Okay, there'll be a couple of little things that we can look for that will help you. Okay, at that point we're going to steer one steer to the right, so the forward badge goes all the way around and looks like this again. And what that will do, that will start tucking our nose in all the time, looking out your back window as you're moving, keeping the car very slow, using that clutch control. Okay, and we then bring our car around until we're looking pretty much like we are now, directly at that car. Now what we can do at that point is straighten up our wheel. Well, if the last steer was to the right, to straighten up, we'd steer to the left. Okay, and because we're still going backwards at that stage, it's probably better to still look out that back window as you're moving backwards, coming to that stop. Okay, now once we've finished the manoeuvre, we're going to secure your car just like any other time. How do you secure the car?
Handbrake neutral.
Handbrake neutral, absolutely, and then we can switch off and go shopping. All right, now times when this might go a little bit wrong. Okay, let's say that you come in a little bit shallower angle, maybe a 1 o'clock angle. Okay, that just means you're going to have to go back a little bit closer to the curb before you bring that steering off, because you've got less angle to take off. Okay, let's say that we come in and maybe we touch the curb. Okay, it's no big deal. Okay, just nice and slow and steady, and it will be a touch. If you're going fast, you might mount that curb, which is bad. Okay, now I prefer you not to, but if you do, well, we'll stop the car. We'll select first gear because you need to move back off of that curb, and it depends where you are as to how you correct. If you've only got a little bit of angle to take off, we might use first gear and just bring it round to the left just to tidy ourselves up. Okay, or it might be that we come back out and try that meter from the curb again. Okay, all depends on what happens, because there is no set, every reverse will be different. You've got to be ready to adjust as you go. Now you can, I'm just going to close up the book here. Okay, do you have any questions about that before I do?
No.
Okay, so you can, if you want to, adjust your left-hand mirror here, which will adjust it down. That will help you to see the curb line that you're reversing against. Do you know how to do that one?
Yeah.
Okay, and that will help you. And in real life you can do that as well, but of course when you finish the manoeuvre we should put it back up for normal driving. Okay, so do you have any questions?
No.
Right, I better put my seatbelt on. And what we're going to do, we're going to very, very slowly use that clutch control, and we're going to bring ourselves out from this position alongside the target vehicle, about a metre away from it. Okay, so good. You know how to move away. Lovely. Okay, so you got your right foot on your brake pedal at the moment. Just take that foot off the brake pedal. There we go. Okay. Good. Nice and slowly, using that clutch control that you told me about earlier on, cat's whisker movements. Good. Nice. And if we bring it back to the left now, so we end up nice and parallel with that target vehicle. A little more to the left. Just have a look to your left mirror there. Straighten up. Good. Check your mirror. Any need to signal to anyone?
No.
Come to a nice gentle stop then. Okay. So we'll select reverse gear. Okay. Now we've got a slight down camber here, so we might not need much clutch control. Okay. If you're going too fast on a down camber, how are you going to slow the vehicle? Brake. So your clutch is down and you're using your brake. Okay. So all round observations, make sure it's safe to do this manoeuvre, and we're going to go back to that first point, which is when our back wheels are in line with the back of this van. So mainly looking out that back window, gently squeeze that brake just to slow you. Good. A little more. I'll tell you when to stop. Okay, and we'll stop about here. Okay, so can you see how your back wheel is roughly in line? It's only roughly in line with that the back of that car. Yeah. So from here, what I want you to be doing is make sure there's no one coming up alongside you, because our next move is steering, and our front's going to come out that way. Okay. So have an all-round observation. When you're sure it's safe, we can ease off that brake to go very slowly, but steer very quickly. One steer to the left. Good. All the way around, so the forward badge is up the right way. That's enough. Good. Looking out the back window now, mainly out the back window. Okay. And we're looking front for angle. Back for safety, front for angle. Just pause for me there. Okay, so if this was a clock face, okay, we're almost, not quite actually, but almost at 1 o'clock. Okay. We'll have another look around the car, make sure no one is around. good. Ease off that brake, good. Actually, I'd say 1 o'clock is about here, yeah? Okay, so keep moving, that's good, okay. All around, looking back for safety, front for angle. Okay, I would say a 2 o'clock is around about here. Okay, pause for me here.
Okay.
Tell me, can you see that, how I've done that? 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, yeah? 3 o'clock would be looking over there, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so at this point we need to straighten our wheel. That's back to the right. So I want you to check all the way around again, make sure there's no one around. Straighten up that wheel. Back to the right, all the way around. Lovely, no more steering, good. Now, is that brake going to control us, or do we need a bit of clutch control? Look out that back window, make sure there's no one coming. Okay, the next bit is we're looking for our meter from the curb. Okay, so we're going to go slowly, clutch down, gently brake here. Okay, now this is a hard thing to judge. Okay, so some instructors have nice little reference points that you can use. Okay, maybe the curb line disappearing somewhere in the window here, maybe a brake light of the other vehicle somewhere here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look from the back wheel, okay, and try and imagine that straight line coming out from the back of that Y of the number plate, and I don't think we're quite in line with it yet.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying or not? You seem to be looking a bit confused, right? So no, that's fine. Let's look down here, okay, into your mirror. Can you see your wheel arch? Okay, and I'd say we've just got probably about another 10 centimeters to go ish before we're at that meter from the curb.
Okay.
All right. Now every reverse is different. Well, yeah, well done. Every reverse is different, so it might be that we need to bodge this a little bit. But do me a favour, all round observations, make sure it's safe, and ease it back just another 10 centimetres, not much at all. That's probably about right. Good. I know that was so picky, I know.
Yeah.
So the next steer is round to the right, because we want to tuck our nose in, okay? Before you steer, we've got to make sure we're moving, all right? We don't want to be dry steering. Tell me what dry steering is.
When you steer and you're not moving.
Okay, good. So we don't want to be doing that extra wear and tear on the tyres. So all round observations, when it's safe, we'll move very slowly, we'll steer very quickly. One steer right, quick steer right. Slow your vehicle now with your brake. Good. Looking out the back window. Okay. Now just pause for me here. Okay. Can you see? Actually, do you know what? I'm going to admit it. I think I was a bit wrong. I think we're a bit tight to that curb. Yeah. Can you see that or not?
Yeah.
So what we'll do is we'll put a bit more steering on when we move, but use the full lock. Okay. Good. That's as much as it'll go. Look out that back window. Now what we're going to need to do is just gently, there's the curb. Now that's not a problem, okay? I actually wanted that to happen because what I want to do, remember I said on that brief, okay, what's going to happen if we need to pull forwards? Yeah?
Yeah.
So we just touch the pavement there. So what we're going to do from this angle is really nice, full left lock, forwards gear, and we'll make our way into that position. Good. But before we do, where are we going to look? And there's lots of steering to full left lock, lots of steering, slow car, quick steer, full left lock for me. Full left lock, 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 full left lock. Good. And when you're parallel to that car, we'll straighten up, which is about now, back to the right to straighten. Check your mirror, nice gentle stop. Okay, handbrake, and secure your car into neutral. And that's with an adjustment, but that's a parallel park.
Okay.
Okay, so just to recap, which angle did we look for?
2 o'clock.
Good. We straightened our wheel then, we came back. Now, I was wrong, okay? But what distance do we want from that curb line?
A meter.
Now, I reckon we got to about 75 centimetres, okay? All right, which is why we came round and touched the pavement, okay? But what do we do to correct it?
Pull forward.
And what do we do every time before we moved again? Before we moved, we checked
all around.
All around. Okay, so that's one parallel park. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay. Switch off.